Ahlan wa sahlan, or welcome, as they would say in the Arab world. We are going to look at some of the geometric patterns as seen in Eric Brugge's book, Islamic Geometric Patterns. We will be following steps that are very similar to the ones illustrated in this book. We will be using the program, the Geometer Sketchpad, to help construct some of these geometric patterns. We will start off simple by constructing a square, and then we will split this square into 8 and 12 equal parts. We'll have two different ones. The 8 equal parts will be used for a construction scene in the Great Mosque of Kairouan in Tunisia, and the 12 equal parts for the Ben Yusuf Madrasa in Morocco. So please follow along, and I hope you enjoy. Before we begin constructing a square, it is important to note that the geometers who made these original constructions obviously did not have the technology we have today. However, they made these using a compass, a ruler, and maybe a pencil or some other utensil. That is quite remarkable, as you will see that making these constructions with the Geometer Sketchpad is still a little difficult. So let's begin. We're going to start by drawing a horizontal line, and on that line we're going to draw a circle that is centered somewhere on it, let's say like that. Now we are going to draw two circles with their centers being the intersection of the line and this circle. Now these two circles need to intersect above and below this circle. So let's make it, let's say like this. There we have it. Now the one trick is that the other circle needs to be the exact same size. So to do that, we're going to find out what the radius of this circle is by simply right-clicking and hitting radius. Now continuing, we are going to make a circle of the same size, centered right there, and with this radius. Now hit construct and select circle by center and radius, and there we have it. At this point, we're going to draw a line between the intersection of these two circles, and there we go. And now we are going to draw 4 circles. The first one centered at this circle and going through the center, and same with all the other points. So there are our 4 circles. Now it's simple to construct our square. It gets kind of confusing though, so what I will do first is select all of these, go to display, and change the color to something a little bit more generic so we don't get confused. So here I've made it all gray. Now we are going to construct the square by simply selecting the polygon tool, and let's go with this one so it's not filled inside. And we will start by selecting here 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have to finish it up from the beginning. So there we have it. Let's change the color to something that distinguishes it from the rest. Let's say red. And there is our square. At this stage, it might be a good idea to save your work, as we will have to continue. And if we make a mistake, obviously it can be complicated. So let's call it square. Now what we're going to do is make 2 constructions of this square such that it has 8 equal parts and 12 equal parts. So let's copy and paste this so we can have 2 of these. Let's move that over. There we go. Okay, so let's start off with this one and make 8 equal parts. This is pretty simple. All we have to do is connect the diagonals. So now we have 4 parts, and simply connect the horizontal and vertical line. And here we have our square with 8 equal parts. It's pretty simple. Now let's look at our diagram over here. We want to make it so that it has 12 equal parts. So let's use this extended line, and we'll connect this point to this point. As you can see, it goes through the center. So there's one line. Now let's do it another time. Let's connect this through the center. And it's a little confusing here. As you can see, I have to look a little carefully, make sure I select the right one. It's right here through the center. And Let's be careful again, and it is these two through the center. Now you can see that we once again have to make the horizontal and vertical lines, and there we have it. So in this square we have our 12 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're almost finished. All we have to do is get rid of some of the lines that are in the way, the construction lines, and we can do that by, say, selecting these two, go to display, hide the circles, and it disappears. So with a little bit of playing around, we'll be able to eliminate all the construction lines and be left with the two squares that we need. Now, one piece of advice that I would give you before I end this is that if we hide this line, it will completely disappear. So one thing that we can do to avoid that is construct a line on top of that, say from here to here, and thus when we hide this line by selecting it, display, hide straight objects, oops, and that made a little mistake. Let's try that again. Let's just select this line, display, hide line. There we go. The mistake that just took place actually was that this line was selected as well as the other one, so when I hid them, both of them disappeared. So I'll let you play around with that. I'm sure you'll get the desired result, which I'll show you shortly. So after a minute of clearing up those construction lines, this is what we have, and this is what we'll be using to make two more complicated images. The first being the Great Mosque of Qayrouan in Tunisia, and the second being the Ben Yusuf Madrasa in Morocco. So feel free to watch the other videos to see how those are constructed.